Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I put together this brief, what I hope to be 15-minute video to introduce a new tech process that we rolled out at Mid-Ohio for HPD 1.2 and Hyperdrive. It went over exceptionally well. And for those of you who didn't attend that event, this is for you. And for those of you that did, there's a small change to this, and you want to watch the video to see what that change is. Basically, we're getting everybody on the same page. And that's my bad for not thinking this through enough, and or feedback from several of you, which I think. Before we get started, on behalf of Jeff and myself, we wanted to, and the entire team, we wanted to thank you for a great year so far and your dedication to lead follow. There are a lot of positions on COVID, and I respect and thank, we all do, your involvement and dedication to our sport. So for those of you that opted in, thank you so much. And for those of you that chose not opt in, totally great, cool, thanks. We hope to see you next year. We could use you, quite frankly. You guys are great, and our high instructor to student ratio is one of the reasons we do so well. And just ask Santiago and Ellis that, and really any instructor. The more, any group leader, the more instructors we have, the better quality education. So we thank you, and we hope we see you next year for Right Seat, in addition to probably do one session in HPD 1, a weekend of lead follow, and in HPD 2 as well, because we did learn a ton of stuff and the benefits of lead follow. So there you have it. Okay, the purpose of this video is to talk about the new tech process and show you this new, actually this tech form, which we're looking at a little bit differently. It's the same tech form. It's always been the same tech form. We're defining it differently. And the reason we're defining it differently is because, quite frankly, we're the most detailed organization in all of NASA, and most of the regions you submit, any driver submits this tech form. They don't even look at your car. They look at your helmet, and that's it. I kid you not. For brand new, never been on track, they didn't stick their head in the car. So we're going to do a hybrid of that. We're still going to look at the car, but we're going to identify the specific areas that all of you guys are looking at, so we don't have several different objectives when we're working together, because now we're going to tech cars as a team, doing the first one in line and then going to the next one. So we'll be working as a team, and this is your sheet music. So let's get started so I can show you what this is all about. Okay, so just like Mid-Ohio, we are going to a sort of a manufacturing assembly line process, and let me make this nice and white so we can see it here. Going to an assembly line process, in the Hyperdrive HPD 1 and 2 drivers will use this process. HPD 3 and 4 are now self-teching. So we've decreased our tech demand by about 50%, which is great, right? We've got, we'll be done with this more quickly, and this assembly line process will make it even faster. So imagine, if you would, that Jeff Henderson, myself, and another person are a combination of greeter, attendance, welcome. Do you have your tech form ready? Oh, it's not filled out. Here's a pen, pull right over there. Do you have your helmet with you? Oh, you don't, right? We're going to pre-screen them, including looking for any race cars, which we're going to beeline right over to tech. And we're going to do that before you even see them. So this is a pretty quick process, works really well, allows the Jeff and I to welcome everybody and say, hey, ask them their name, and quite frankly, get to know our customers. And then we're going to get them to you. And the way we're going to do that is our man, Eric Double, is going to be standing right down here. This is the Eric Double person. And the last person right here is going to say, hey, do you see that guy down there with the red shirt? Hey, Eric. Eric waves his hand. This is what worked really well. So go see Eric. And the driver's going to drive over to Eric, and he's going to say, hey, welcome. And he's going to ask him what run group they're in. And they're going to be in one of 3 run groups, right? HPD 1, Hyperdrive, HPD 1 and 2. And he's going to point out a line and say, see right down there? That's your line. You want to drive all the way down to the end. and they're going to drive all the way down here, and stop. They're going to stay in the car, right? They're going to raise their hood, right? And we're going to do this process in groups of 3. Now, keep in mind your group leader will be down there, and they'll have a wristband and a collect the tech forms. They'll have the tech stickers, right? And they'll be taking a roll call as well. Because one of the things we're trying to do here, and one of the problems we're trying to solve in a proactive way, is instead of saying, who didn't show up, and then have to deal with them when they show up to go, I need tech. Where's my classroom? Where do I park? Which is really what happens, what Jeff and I deal with every event. We're looking to identify those people that haven't showed up and actually reach out to them and say, hey, Larry, we didn't see you at tech this morning. Are you going to make it? And in some cases, we find out that they aren't going to come and they didn't let anybody know, in which that case, we let Santiago and John Taylor know so they can take you guys as resources and not have them reserved for a person that's not going to be there. That's the main reason why we're doing this proactive push of identifying folks and also getting everybody on the same page for tech. So once they do a quick tech and getting a sticker, they're out of here. And I want you guys to know the flow, because this is what's going on, and you'll be working in teams of 3, working together in concert for this. So here's why this sheet is important, and that is because, I'm going to go over here right now, please. And that is because what we discovered with the help and input from you great guys is instructors have a different definition of this document right here. I'm going to blow it up a little bit. I'm going to attempt to blow it up a little bit. Let's see here. There we go. We had some instructors using the black letter of the law and going through this tooth and nail, and other guys that would get brand new cars off the assembly line and do the same thing. And other guys going, hey, I know that's a new car. There's nothing the matter with it. Peek inside, got a helmet, and moving them on. We're looking to all get on the same page, because that latter scenario, that's a brand new car, man, you don't have to check wheel bearings, and you certainly don't need to check the steering rack, right, and go through the whole car. You don't need to. That is a rule or a standard that we're putting on ourselves, and I thank you, but it's too high of a standard. Conversely, for that car that looks like a jalopy, it needs more attention, and that is why we are looking here when these cars come down the pike. That is why we're looking right here when these cars come down the pike to identify that third person in line is going to pull off to the side, and they're going to do more of a race car tech, which takes a little bit longer. So if you're interested in that role, please let us know. That is a more thorough. We're looking for 2 guys to do that. And that doesn't come down here with Eric Double and go down in this line, and you got a unique unicorn. So we're looking to do that to just give you guys quick cars so you can say hi, welcome them, and quickly tech their car and go to the next one. So we're going to go here to the sheet, and the group leaders and I got together, and here's what we're looking from you, please. When they hand you the sheet, and there's groups of you, so figure out your group of 3 total, we're looking for these things to be on your list, and your discretion is at everything else. So please check the tires, a quick visual, right? Please check to see if there's any leaking underneath, and while the hood is up, the same thing if it's obvious. We are looking for the standard battery terminals covered, right? Pretty simple, pretty standard. We are looking over here for the why the hood is up, to see the brake fluid, the level, which is right here. They're going to be in the car, so we can't do the pedal pressure and look at the brake lines, etc. We would like you to trigger the brake lights, so there's somebody at the back of the car, right? And maybe that person at the back of the car is looking inside the trunk as well. This whole safety equipment is at your discretion. We would like you to check the helmet, and we're telling them to do that as well. If your gut says check some of these for safety, please do. We'd like you to. And this miscellaneous, not on our criteria. The two other things that we'd like to say is make sure that they have a number, and please reinforce this is an issue that we've been having, that it should be a big number and contrasting. And that is because the guys that want to get fancy and do fancy colors, and it's like the same guys that have the black smoked out license plate that you can't read. Well, what happens is race control says, we can't freaking read this number. So please reinforce and tell them that next time to get a bigger number or make it more contrasting, because race control needs to see. And a lot of times that's the issue that Jeff and I have to deal with. The next thing is please go through this, the loose objects in the trunk of the car. That's always a winner, including floor mats. So there's the new redefined process of the things we'd all like you as a team to look at together. Please dump the, I'm checking cylinder head torque, right? We don't need to go down that road. There's a couple of you that are actually doing that, and I love you, but man, it makes the line just creep slow. Again, these guys are signing off down here. You make sure that they're signed off there at the bottom, and they're dated. This is the process that the group leaders in our system is telling them and what they're being ready for. So if you like, substitute some of that time that you'd spend teching their car with a warm hello and great and where are you from, while you're in groups of 3 doing the very first car in line, and then the next car and the next car. Again, I can't emphasize enough how we're looking to not, this is the old what not to do. If there's several cars here, right? Don't go all the way back of the line and work on that one, because that guy's got nowhere to get out and he just sits there. We're going to do assembly line process, do the first one for that line and do the next one and the next one and the next one. And because we're working as a team, because we have half of the demand, we no longer have HPD 3 and 4. This should go really, really quick, which allows these guys to get to the classroom or their group meeting, hyperdrive, HPD 1, HPD 2, to start the day early. So there you have it. Thank you again for all your help. This will be our new process. If you got feedback on this that we can make it run more smoothly, let Jeff and I know, and I will see you guys at the track.